Hey guys, Rich here with a video on the iPhone 5 and the Samsung Galaxy S3. So the reason why I'm comparing these two is because I had just purchased this one and I actually got my parents who were eligible for upgrades on the S3. And I just want to go through the two circumstances that I've kind of gone through within the first 2 weeks of having these two phones. Now it hasn't been quite 2 weeks yet, so I figured this would be a good time to review just because I've been comparing features and just what they overall come with. So, first thing I'm going to go over, of course, is our headphones. First of all, Apple ones, they sound alright, nothing against them, just like the ones that come with Samsung. Now, in my other video about the headphones that come with the iPhone, I said I wish these came with the rubber pieces that attach to them like the Samsung ones do. I think that's a great feature. The reason why I say if you're running or the only time I really use headphones is when I'm on the treadmill at the gym or working out and stuff, because let's face it, when you're in your car you're listening to your stereo. Almost all stereos now come with an auxiliary jack or a USB port, and around the house you're just syncing it with your DLNA enabled TV or your Air Jam amplifier, something like that. So the only time you're really using headphones now is when you're out for a walk and doing something active, which you want them to stay in your ear. Apple's gone the wrong way about it because they expect every ear to be the same. You can't really use those on every ear. Now the next thing I'm going to go into is the charging cable. What's so sweet about the Galaxy S3, the fact you can buy these cables anywhere. I mean, you can get them for like $2 or $3 if you're lucky, and they're relatively cheap. Apple's gone with a new product. Problem is they've put a chip inside the new connector, meaning this new baby, I just picked up a spare cable and it was $39.99 at Future Shop, meaning that cable's now, after taxes, $45. A little bit steep for me. So I'm definitely, on the edge about that. Next thing I'm going to go over is the OtterBox. I think Otter's done a better job with the iPhone. I like how it's got some front wrap, which you can't really do anything with the S3 because of it being such a massive screen. But I will still give the I'll give them basically a tie just because they both, it's Otter. They always look for everything they can for defending them. Now, I've also checked, other videos on drop tests, and I realized without the defenders that apparently the iPhone 5 is more durable because the S3, the screen is very easily cracked. So that's why I got my parents both to buy OtterBoxes. So next thing I'm going to quickly go over is one for ringtones. It's how, with the iPhone, if you really want to change the ringtones, you have to either buy them through iTunes or you can, of course, buy the free ringtone makers. But those can also be a hassle if you're not really good with a computer. I've made my own ringtones. It's not a big deal. What I love about this with the Galaxy here is the Zedge for the ringtones. You can get ringtones, active wallpapers, and everything through Zedge, and it's just one click. All you do is you find the one you want, you press the free button, and you click setup. It does it all for you. Everything's done. I think that's a really great feature. Once again, I think the S3, for ringtones, ease of use, that's definitely one. Now, I know I'm not going too much into the specs on it. The truth is, though, for me, it's not anything about the specs. It's about the apps and how, it's moving, how it's going to be everyday use. Now, another thing for me, now keep in mind I am from Canada, for Siri, the only thing I really use it for, I guess, is the Google stuff, because, let's face it, for me, I can't look up sports. If I say I want to look up the BC Lions score from last night, it's not good. It's going to give me, something from the States. It's going to give me a States team. It doesn't give me any information on anything from Canada unless it's involved with the States. So that's one kind of thing that sucks about Siri for me. But for speed, of course, there's enough speed test videos out there. It shows the iPhone's a little bit faster. But to tell you the truth, for what I've seen with the S3, it can lag a little, and you're still going to get the better stick with the S3 anyway. I mean, if you're talking a millisecond lag, that shouldn't justify which phone you pick up, really. Now, The other thing is I've been having fun with the camera. I have to admit, I do kind of like the camera option a little bit better with the iPhone. That's just me once again. I like some of the features with it, but I know that, you know, a lot of the features that are in this iPhone camera were in the S3 before, like the panorama shot and stuff like that. I also like, what do they call it, the bump feature with the S3. I think that's really good. One thing the Apple still has is, of course, the insane amount of apps in the App Store and how they're all legit. I mean, with the S3, you have the Android marketplace, and yes, you do have a lot of apps, but the problem is I find you have to sort through a lot of crap before you find any, you find a lot of the legit ones. But that's one flaw you can get through, I guess. I mean, it's just one of those things you gotta look for. Now, I used to love Apple because of the ease of use. It still is. If you're looking for something that works all the time, you don't really have to worry about, and it pretty much manages itself as long as you know which updates to accept and whatnot, then you're fine. I mean, Apple's kind of gone really well with that with the new update. I think it's great that you no longer have to accept for every update. If it's a free update, it'll just update. You don't really have to worry. All you do is click update, and you don't have to put in your Apple ID and all that other crap anymore. They finally, Bell's finally put some more work into their Bell self-serve app, but that's only for my company. It's not going to really go over everyone else's. Once again, I mean, for me, I think it was a lot to take in when the iPhone 5 first came out. I heard some stuff. I just, I picked it up to try it out, and since it has been 2 weeks yet, I'm actually going to be looking to return it tomorrow because I think that Android's finally, it's bypassing Apple, and the fact that, when the S4 finally comes out, it's going to be, as Chevy Chase would say on Community, streets ahead of the iPhone. So, I'm going to have to say, if you're looking at these two phones, if you're an Apple user and you have docks and stuff around the house, if you're really looking to spend the money to buy the adapters, go right ahead, pick yourself up, the iPhone. But for me personally, it's the fact that I'm eligible for upgrade. This is the 64 gig. I paid $379 by the time I got my AppleCare, say $479 before taxes. Then once you add your AppleCare, your OtterBox, and everything, extra cable, your adapter, you're looking at around $600-700. With this one, right now, people are offering it for free, $0 if you sign for a 3-year. So you get this for free. You buy your memory card because it only has 16 gigs. Buy yourself a 64 if you want, even if it's $50. Okay, you spent $50 on your phone now. Spend, a good $40 on a good case, maybe 50, and you're really, you pick up a couple cables for $1 or $2 a piece, and you're all good. And if you have a stereo, you can always plug it in through aux, or once again, DLNA. Just send your songs over that. There's enough apps. I'm sure there's, one for turning it into a media sharing server and stuff like that. So once again, I don't want to sound biased against the iPhone, but this is coming from a guy who's owned a 2, a 3, a 3GS, a 4, and a 4S, and now a 5, and I'm so pissed off with, how Apple let us go with, the 5. There's really nothing new with it. Like I said, once again, by switching the connector and charging such a crazy amount here for the connector, I think they've completely lost my service, and the fact that, you'd think it'd make it a little bit easier to switch over to their newer devices. Anyways, for me, I think the Galaxy S3 definitely deserves some props. And alright, this is the end of my video. Sorry if it sounds a little bit biased, but feel free to put in your comment section why you think one or the other is better. And other than that, have a great night.